The farmer says he didn't hear any commotion that night, but the next morning he discovered that his goats had been returned to his farm. He didn't find any signs of physical harm, but he says since their abduction they've been unusually quiet. He believes something might have been done to them.
That's so strange. Why would someone steal goats only to return them the next day? Those poor animals.
This is the third such occurrence in 2 weeks in the area. Police still have no suspects. And now to the weather. The forecast for this afternoon is cloudy skies with a chance of rain, leading into the early hours of the evening.
Rain? I didn't think about that when I left the school. I wonder if Gene's riding home tonight. He went to school on his bike. Since he's leaving practice early today, I could have waited for him. Hopefully he can get home before the weather gets worse. I don't want him to get caught in the rain.
Wanda noticed the person walking up ahead.
I wonder if that kid is one of the students from school?
She slowed down the car and moved closer to the sidewalk.
Harry? What on earth is he doing, just walking on the side of the road?
Oh, Miss Denvers, what a lovely surprise.
Harry is the son of Wanda's old college professor, Ben. He attends the same school she teaches at, and has been a family friend for years.
Hi, good to see you.
Are you on your way home, my dear principal?
Yes, I am.
Already. Miss Denvers, do you always leave work so early?
Huh?
Harry's formal tone sounded strange to her.
Harry, we're not at school anymore. Why are you talking to me like that?
They always spoke casually outside school grounds, where their closeness wouldn't be subject to scrutiny and she wouldn't be accused of favoritism.
I'm just playing with you, Wanda.
Of course you are. Charming as ever. I see.
Always, and you wouldn't have me any other way either.
Keep telling yourself that. So, why are you walking on the side of the road? Where's your limo?
It broke down on the way to pick me up, so I just decided to walk home. It isn't that far anyway.
Harry comes from a rich family and has a chauffeur that drives him around anywhere he wants.
Oh, that's too bad. I know how much you hate exercise. This must be the most physical activity you've done all year.
Hey, just because I don't like physical exercise class, doesn't mean I'm not in shape.
You sure about that? I can't wait to see you in a marathon.
Marathon? What marathon?
Oh, right.
For a moment, Wanda had forgotten that the school wouldn't be able to host the event anymore.
Never mind.
Well, I better get going. See you later.
Why don't I just give you a ride home? Look at the weather. There's no need to risk getting caught in the rain.
It doesn't look that bad. Besides, I thought you wanted me to exercise.
You can do that another time. I'm afraid you might catch a cold.
You're always looking out for me. How sweet. Okay, Auntie, let's go.
Andy, I'm not your auntie.
Well, you're acting like one, so thoughtful, just like my granny.
Just get inside, funny guy.
Although Harry had a wealthy upbringing, he is not the typical arrogant rich kid. He is kind and caring. His relationship with Wanda is like that of two old friends. In fact, after his father, Wanda is the closest person to Harry.
We better get home as quickly as possible. I wouldn't want us to get into an accident like last time.
Last time?
Don't you remember a few months ago? You were driving me and Lois in the rain. We were going to a movie theater.
Oh my God. We did not almost get into an accident.
Hey, you swerved so hard Lois slammed into me.
Ugh.
Come on, don't get mad, it's just a joke.
When you finally start driving, you'll see it's not always smooth sailing, especially in the rain.
That's what I'm saying. It's a good thing it's not raining yet.
Hee. Yeah, nice try. You're always teasing me. I'm surprised you haven't made fun of my age by now, after all these years.
Your age? I don't get it.
I thought you would be making jokes about the fact that I'm getting older.
What are you talking about? You're so beautiful.
In the middle of his sentence, Harry rephrased what he was going to say.
I mean, you still look so young. You look the same as you did 5 years ago.
Harry's sudden shyness didn't go unnoticed by Wanda. Although Harry is not a timid boy, He grew up attending an all-boys school, and as such hasn't had a lot of experience with girls. Ever since he moved into Wanda's town when he was a young boy, Wanda has been the most important woman in his life.
So tell me, how's your father doing? I haven't talked to him in days.
He's fine. You shouldn't be asking about him. You should be asking about me.
Well, he's the one getting married.
That's his choice. I didn't get any say in it. And now I'm gonna be stuck with that annoying woman. She's so fake.
Here you go again.
Harry's dad recently got engaged to his secretary, a woman only 6 years older than Harry.
Just imagine her calling me son. Son, Hugh.
Don't you think you should try and make an effort to get to know her since she's going to be your new...
Don't say it. Don't call her that. She's never going to be my mom. She just wants my dad's money. That's all. She doesn't care about him. And she definitely doesn't care about me.
I understand why you're suspicious of her, but she seemed like a genuinely nice lady. Just give her a chance.
How can you be so sure? You've only met her a few times.
Exactly, and she's already made a good impression on me.
Oh boy, let's just change the subject. I don't want to talk about that gold digger.
Alright. I can understand why he has already rejected this woman, even though she hasn't done anything wrong yet. All his life it's just been him and his dad, and now someone wants to enter his life and change the whole dynamic. Even though he never knew his mother, I imagine when he was growing up he wished his dad would marry someone so that he could have that mother-son relationship. But now after all these years, he must have moved on and made peace with the fact that he only had one parent. Maybe he closed that chapter and doesn't want it opened again.
Wanda, look out.
What?
Ha 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 ha.
What are you doing? Do you know how dangerous it is to interfere with the driver?
Sorry, I won't do it again. Ha ha ha.
You're such a child. Harry, when you saw Jean today at school, how did he seem?
How did he seem? I don't know. Kind of distant, maybe. Quieter than usual.
That makes sense.
We didn't really talk much, come to think of it. Lois also seemed distracted today, especially when I saw her at the cafeteria. She seemed a million miles away. I tried talking to her and she told me she has a lot on her mind but I shouldn't worry about it.
Why are you looking at me like that?
Do you know something?
No, I don't know anything. But if Lois says you shouldn't worry about it, then don't worry about it. It's probably nothing.
If you say so.
Harry was not entirely convinced by Wanda, but he dropped the subject anyway.
So how's work going? Do you have a lot of stuff on your plate?
Of course I do, always. It's a lot of stress being a principal. In fact, now more than ever.
Really? What's going on?
I probably shouldn't tell him about my problems at work, especially the pay cut. I don't want to make him worried about me.
You can tell me. My dad always says a problem shared is a problem solved.
Beep 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 beep.
Speak of the devil, it's my dad.
Maybe if I talked to his father about the marathon, he would be interested in partnering with the school and covering some of the costs. His company is always involved in various charity initiatives, so this would be great PR for them. And if the school is able to host this event, we would also get press coverage and lure more investors to aid in our financial situation. I should broach the subject with him when I see him. I wonder if it's better to call him. He's at work right now. Who knows when he'll be back.
Listen to what he just texted me. Hey, son, it's a short day at the office, so what do you say we go to the amusement park later today, all three of us?
That sounds nice.
All three of us? Get real. I'd rather just stay at home.
Damn, you really just like this woman, huh?
You got that right.
So they're coming home soon?
Yep.
Who knows, maybe I'll see them.
Maybe you can convince my dad to call off the wedding.
Are you kidding? I'm looking forward to being a bridesmaid. Ha ha, you should see your face.
That's not funny.
It's not a joke. I'm gonna be a bridesmaid.
Do you hear yourself? Now you're just being ridiculous. I forbid it.
You can't forbid it.
I just did.
Stop being childish.
Stop defending my dad's future ex-wife.
Future ex-wife? You're hilarious. Hee hee hee.
A few minutes later, They arrived at Harry's house.
Why don't you come in for a bit?
Well, I want to talk to your dad about something, so I'll come in and wait for him to get back from work.
Huh? What do you want to talk to him about?
Nothing, it doesn't concern you.
Are you sure? You're not going to tell him to delay the wedding because it's too soon?
In your dreams, Harry. I won't do your dirty work for you.
Whose side are you on, Wanda?
Is this the thanks I get for giving you a lift?
Okay, you're right. Let's go in. I'll make you some tea as a thank you. Actually, now is the perfect opportunity to do the thing we talked about.
What thing?
Harry used the intercom to talk to the security guard that was in charge of overseeing entry into the house.
Jim, hurry up. We have 2 bodies in the trunk and we're gonna need your help carrying them.
Whisper, don't forget the part about the blood.
You also have some cleaning up to do. It's a real mess in there. Lots of blood.
See, he's not opening. I told you.
Wait, give it a minute. Ha, you owe me $50.
Actually, you're too young to gamble, Harry. Sorry.
Yeah, right. I accept cash only. Thank you.
Hee hee, alright, you win.
Ben's estate was the epitome of luxury, a mansion worthy of the name.
Why does this place seem bigger every time I see it?
I think it looks smaller every time I see it.
Okay, rich boy, settle down.
Wanda parked the car in the garage and then they went into the living room.
May I put your bag away for you, miss?
Oh, yes, you may. Such a gentleman, thank you.
At your service. Make yourself at home. We have a new kettle, by the way. The latest tech from Switzerland. It boils so fast you won't believe it. You'll see when you turn it on.
When I turn it on. Wait, I thought you were going to make me a cup of tea.
But I wouldn't even know where to start. Wanda, you know I don't drink that stuff. It's better if you do it.
Ha, your hospitality leaves a lot to be desired. So much for being a gentleman.
What? I took your bag, didn't I? What do you want next? A massage? I'm not a maid.
Speaking of maids, where's Gabby?
Oh, she got fired.
What? Why?
There was this big fight with Steffi last week. I don't know exactly what it was about. There was a lot of Spanish spoken. It was pretty heated and Gabby really got in her face. Obviously, my dad took Steffi's side and that was the end.
Oh my god, why didn't you tell me this when we spoke on the phone days ago?
I forgot. Anyway, it was a long time coming. Those 2 never got along.
Maybe she felt threatened that there was a new woman around. She thought she would get replaced.
Nah, I don't think that's it. I've never seen Steffi clean a single thing. We're gonna hire another maid, I'm sure. This place is too big. Poor Gabby. She had been our maid for so many years. She was around even before this painting was made.
You look so cute together.
I'm not cute. I'm handsome.
What's the difference?
K-pop men are cute, like girls.
Okay, my mistake. You're a handsome young man.
Yes, that's better.
Hee hee hee.
Instead of tea, how about I get you some juice?
I'd rather get a glass of water.
Roger that, ma'am.
Your dad looks so proud in that painting, like he's ready to pass the torch on to you.
Yeah, I know.
The tone in Harry's voice changes.
He's always wanted me to take over the company one day. He's practically been grooming me my whole life.
Why do you say that like it's a bad thing? You've always been looking forward to follow in your dad's footsteps, haven't you?
Well, nothing is set in stone, is it?
This came as a surprise to Wanda. She never would have thought Harry would have second thoughts about this.
I'm just saying that sometimes things change.
Have they?
I don't want to talk about this right now. Let's just forget it.
Okay, what is he not telling me? All of a sudden he's changed his mind? No, he's definitely hiding something.
You wanna watch some TV? Or we could play a video game.
You know I suck at video games.
Exactly, it'll be fun.
For you, I'm sure.
At that moment, Wanda saw the newly constructed museum. Ben has a penchant for collecting all kinds of art, and after realizing his house could no longer host his collection, he made plans to find a more suitable place for them.
I remember the last time I was here, it was a pile of rubble. It looks more massive than I thought it would be.
There's a lot of his stuff in there. He's always able to outbid anyone for any piece he thinks is amazing.
I'm kind of looking forward to what's inside. Ben promised he'd invite me once it's finished. You know, your father said he'd show me around the museum, but why don't you do it instead? You can be my tour guide.
Nah, I don't feel like it. You can go if you want. I'll stay here.
Come on, Harry. Be a good host. Besides, you know a lot about that stuff. You can tell me all the stories behind each item, please.
Fine. As long as you don't make fun of me and call me a nerd.
Don't be silly. Of course I won't make fun of you.
Follow me. Here we are. I'd like to welcome you to my dad's palace of ancient artworks and artifacts.
Oh my.
Wanda was speechless. The sheer size deserved admiration, let alone the fact that it was so well furnished.
I'm impressed. This building is so well designed. It's not just a private collection, it's like a proper museum. I didn't think there would be so much stuff in here.
Aren't you glad you're friends with someone like me? I have the coolest house in the world.
You certainly have the biggest head.
Haha.
Something strange in the distance catches Wanda's attention.
Those are sculptures from the Arcampto tribe.
Really? That matriarchal tribe?
You know about them?
All I know is that the Arcampto tribe is a matriarchal society. I heard it on the radio once in a while and then I switched to the music channel. And if I remember correctly, these statues are fertility totems, symbols that were there often worshipped. In those days women had poor conditions for childbirth and they were prone to miscarriages, so they prayed that the gods could bless them with lots of healthy babies. Well, this is just my recollection.
Impressive. Your memory is correct.
Thanks, but I'd like to hear what you have to say about them.
There's not much I can add to that. As you can see, this one on the left is a statue of a woman assuring her child, symbolizing tribal women and the recognition and worship of their fertility. That's all. Let's go see something else.
Harry opted to skip the remaining two sculptures, especially the second one, which was an even more explicit display of eroticism.
Really, Harry? Even something as trivial as a statue makes you blush? Jesus, how is it possible that he's become such a prude since the last time I saw him? Very strange. Don't rush off. You haven't finished your presentation yet.
Come on, look at those two statues. What else is there to say?
It's just two somewhat sensitive sculptures. I'd like to know the origin story from you. Even our sex ed classes in school are more explicit than that. Let's sit down and you'll tell me everything there is to know about them.
Alright, it's all about breastfeeding. In the upper left corner is a statue of a young girl with small breasts. She prayed to the gods that her breasts would be as big as jars.
Make the breasts bigger? It does make sense that in primitive tribes there was no formula and the only way to feed the baby was through breastfeed.
And the sculpture below, she has a huge headdress on her head that belonged to the tribal leader. You can see she's pregnant, and she's fondling her big breasts, asserting her power and position within the tribe.
He really knows his way around the collection. One would assume he procured these items, not his father.
You know, I was actually there at the auction for this. Dad was busy with work, so he couldn't go and asked me to attend instead. I acted as his agent to bid on the stuff he wanted.
Wow, that's so cool. I've never been to a high society auction, or at most a school auction. You're so young and you already have such a wealth of experience that I just can't hope for.
Please don't say that. You know you can come with me anytime.
Are you inviting me?
Why not? Besides, these things are more fun when you're there with someone.
I've never been to an auction before and this will be a novel experience to see more exotic treasures, antiques and paintings. They serve kinds of food and wine there, do they?
I'll take that as a yes.
Well, I didn't say that.
We will see. Let's check out the rest of the museum, shall we?
Wow, what's this one called?
This is the Winged Victory of Samothrace. It's a Greek sculpture, dating all the way back to 2nd BC.
She has no head or arms. It looks so strange but also fascinating.
It's supposed to represent Nike, the Greek goddess of victory. In the 1800s, It was discovered by.
I love seeing him like this. He talks about this stuff with such passion. In many ways, he is like his father, but in other ways they are complete opposites. His father likes to collect art, but it seems Harry's love of art is even greater, which is a different path than the one his father wants him to follow. I wonder if that's been weighing on his mind lately. It may be what he was talking about when we were standing in front of the painting. If he really doesn't want to follow in his father's footsteps, it would be a big deal. I can see it driving a wedge between them.
The only limbs are the legs, but even then one of them is covered in cloth. It's such a brilliant piece of art, allowing our mind to see so much and yet so little simultaneously. Why are you staring at me like I'm a piece of cake you want to devour?
I just enjoy hearing you talk about art. You're very engaging.
Oh. Come on, let me show you another sculpture.
Okay, lead the way. He's so cute when he's embarrassed.
Are you okay?
I don't know what happened. My foot feels sore for some reason.
Maybe it's a cramp.
I don't think so. I think it's these new heels I bought. Now that I've been wearing them all day, I realize just how tight they are.
You could take them off for a little while. Give your feet a rest.
And walk barefoot.
Sure, why not? I do it all the time.
Well, you still act like a 10-year-old, so I'm not surprised.
That's why I have so much fun. Unlike you oldie.
Yeah, whatever. Just show me the next artwork.
Can you walk?
Yeah, I'll be fine. Oh my.
So now, I would like to introduce you to one of the most romantic moments in art history.
This one's so beautiful, and so big.
It's one of my favorite pieces in the entire museum.
I can see why. There's so much emotion, so much passion. Actually, I think I've seen it somewhere before. It's starting to look familiar.
Maybe you have seen it before. This is Psyche revived by Cupid's kiss. It was made by the Italian genius, Antonio Canova.
And Cupid is the one with the wings, right?
Yes, he is giving a woman called Psyche an embrace, after he revived her from a comatose state with a kiss.
A coma? Now this sounds like a good story.
Well, it's a very long story.
Tell me.
I'll give you the short version. A very beautiful lady named Psyche was given a series of dangerous tasks to complete. After successfully completing the fourth and final task, curiosity got the best of her. She opened a box she wasn't supposed to, and as a result was put into a deep sleep, like a coma.
How tragic.
But all hope was not lost. Her long-lost lover, Cupid, returned to her and woke her from the slumber. In this interpretation of the story, Cupid does so with a kiss. Canova does such an excellent job of capturing her gorgeous body. Her body is spread nicely as if Cupid is presenting her to us, the audience. An impeccable design, from head to toe. I love how her feet are exposed, so we can see all of her beauty. The right leg is dangling out, like a fruit waiting to be plucked.
Her foot? Most teenage boys would instead be wishing her breasts were exposed. Then again, most teenage boys wouldn't have much interest in art.
This is very easily Antonio's best work.
You said this is one of your favorite works of art in this museum. Which one is your favorite?
My favorite? Well, it would have to be that painting over there.
This one? But I thought he was reluctant to talk about those statues earlier because they were explicit. So your favorite thing in this entire museum is a painting of a nude woman.
You see a nude woman, but I see a woman that's facing high tide and she's not the least bit afraid of being washed away. She's so carefree she's not wearing anything.
That's an interesting way to put it.
Just have a closer look and you can notice that it's cloudy. There's no clear source of light, so it's harder to depict light and shadow than on a sunny day, which demonstrates the painter's own great skill.
As Wanda analyzed the painting, she started to see it the way Harry was describing it.
Yes, I think I understand what you're talking about now.
And if you look at it from another angle, the woman appears to be a giant that's being threatened to be capsized by the ocean.
Whoa. You're right. It didn't see that.
Moreover, the artist's depiction of the human body itself is also very exquisite. A very natural body, and one foot is hiding, only partly shown, while the other is perfectly showcased in full display. The skin is so pale, so every blemish is highlighted. Every pink coloration on the surface of the feet is easily seen.
Again, Harry's highlighting the feet, like did with the last sculpture. I wonder, is it just a coincidence or does he really have a thing for feet?
If you wanted a corny interpretation, you could say the legs are a metaphor for a ship in a violent storm at sea. You see the way they are positioned?
What the? That was terrible. That has to be the cheesiest, most repulsive drivel I've ever heard.
It's just an example. I wasn't being serious. Well, it was fun, but our tour is over.
It's over? You've only shown me 2 things on the 2nd floor, and there's even a 3rd floor.
It's not that I don't want to keep showing you around. I'm worried about your feet, you know.
Ah, he's right. I feel even more uncomfortable than before. It's a pity. I was really enjoying myself. Well, that's the way it has to be, I guess. Let's go back.
Then they were back in the living room.
Thanks again for showing me the museum. I really enjoyed it. I especially liked hearing the stories behind the pieces.
Don't mention it.
What are you looking for in that closet? Do you have a gift for me?
Hee. I guess you could say that. Here you are. Take off those heels for some comfy slippers.
Oh, how thoughtful of you. That's so sweet. Well, I don't know if I should leave and go home now.
Leave? Is your foot still sore?
A bit.
Then you should probably rest your feet before you go, and my father should be back soon.
You're right. He seemed to pay a lot of attention to the feet of those women back in the museum. Now I have the perfect opportunity to put him on the spot. Go ahead, take them off.
Huh?
Why not? Does it make you uncomfortable to take off a lady's shoe?
No, it's just a strange request, that's all. But since you're determined to make me your slave for the day, I'll do it.
Good. Your master is pleased.
Don't push it, Principal. How can you ask me, a man worth over $1 billion, to change your shoes?
That's what makes it so interesting.
Whoa, Greek feet.
What? What did you say?
Nothing. I'm telling you that the insoles of your heels are very thin to the touch, and the heel is so high.
Is that a good thing?
I guess. It was just an observation. I've already helped you take off your heels. What else can I do for you, my lady?
Well, you've done a great job so far. Maybe he can help me see if there's something wrong with my ankles. I'm a little unsure. You know what you could do to help?
What?
Could you take a look and tell me if my ankles look red or swollen?
Sure, but you have to take off your pantyhose first, or I won't be able to tell.
Let me go to the bathroom and change, then I'll be right back.
A few minutes later.
What are you staring at?
Oh, here you are. You should probably put your feet up on the couch. It'll make it easier for me.
No.
What are you? Whoa.
The last thing Harry was expecting was for Wanda to put her foot on his leg.
You don't mind, do you?
No, it's all right.
Look at his surprised face, hands that have nowhere to go, and a body too stiff to move. I want to tease him even more. Who knew my sweet and handsome Harry had such a fetish? So how does it look?
I don't see any swelling.
What about the color of the heel?
Just the normal pink, not red.
Harry, you're only looking at it from one direction. Other angles need to be checked too.
Oh, right. May I touch?
Of course you can. Didn't you already touch it? I need you to press on the ankle to make sure it's fine, gently.
Okay.
Harry touched Wanda's ankle, gently pressing his fingers into the skin.
I don't feel any tenderness. How bad does it hurt when I touch it?
It's not that bad.
I'm sure it's nothing serious. You should be fine.
Harry, can I ask you something?
What?
It might sound strange, but do you think I have good-looking feet?
What?
You can be honest. I won't get mad.
Why would you ask me a question like that?
I'm just curious to get someone else's perspective. Plus, you're a guy. You'll be able to tell me. Just have another look.
I don't know, your feet look fine.
Harry's discomfort was evident. But that didn't concern Wanda. She was enjoying herself way too much.
They look fine?
Yes.
Just fine? Not pretty, the way you say it. My foot must look ugly.
What the hell?
I'm sorry I put my ugly feet on your lap.
No. I didn't mean it like that. Of course they're beautiful.
Really?
Yes.
You're not just saying that because it's me?
No. Besides, I'm more likely to tease you than give you a compliment.
Good point.
Believe me, you have just the right size. Nice and small. Your skin looks smooth. You keep your nails short and clean. It's perfect. I wouldn't change a thing.
Wow, you really know a lot about feet, huh? Size, texture.
Well, I wouldn't say I know a lot, maybe more than some, but I wouldn't consider myself an aficionado of the subject.
Harry realized he had divulged too much information.
Oh, come on. You spoke with such enthusiasm about those women's feet at the museum, and just know your eyes were beaming when you looked at my feet.
So, I'm an art lover. I have an appreciation for the female body. I just pay closer attention to details than most. That's all.
You don't need to get defensive. I'm just wondering if you've got a thing for feet. Well, my feet in particular.
That's preposterous.
Oh, using big words to deflect? I must be onto something.
Wanda started to sway her foot side to side, taunting him. She was treating it like a staring contest and she was waiting for Harry to blink. She got her wish. Harry's flushed face stood away with all the pretense. He couldn't hide the delight in his eyes, like he had just been gifted a birthday wish.
Oh my God, look at you. Your cheeks are red.
It was new for Wanda to see Harry in such a light. At that moment he was like every other horny adolescent boy. It was quite the sight to see.
He. Wow, I was right. Your face is lit up like a Christmas tree.
Okay. Stop it now.
No way. I'm having too much fun. This is the best prank I've ever done. So what is it about feet that turns you on so much? I've never understood it. Maybe you can explain it to me.
Wanda, just get off me. That's enough now.
Are you one of those guys that likes to touch it, or be touched with it?
Wanda.
The culmination of Wanda's lurid conversation, and the repeated motion of her foot, had an unintended effect. Wanda felt Harry's heart pressed against her foot and was stunned speechless. Harry was dying of shame. Wanda was not only a longtime friend, she was also his principal. He never thought the first time a woman touched his would be under these circumstances, and he never thought she would be so much older than him. Wanda immediately removed her foot from Harry's lap and ended her prank. Neither of them said a word about the incident.
Oh crap, I didn't realize this show has already started. I almost missed out on the cheetah's first kill. You know how much I love nature documentaries.
Harry was more than happy to pretend like nothing had happened. The awkwardness in the room was bad enough. Talking about it would only make things worse. This time Wanda was the one who looked embarrassed, but she also knew better than to say something. Instead, she followed Harry's lead and avoided eye contact while they both watched TV. A short while later Harry's father arrived back home, with his fiancée.
Hey, Dad, look who's here.
Hi, guys.
Wanda, what a lovely surprise.
Wanda darling, how are you?
I'm good. I'm sure you've been quite busy since the last time I saw you.
Oh, you wouldn't believe it. So much stuff to do, so many things to organize for the big day.
Well, I've been there. I know all about planning a wedding.
Unsurprisingly, Harry looked irritated. Talk of weddings made him sick to his stomach.
Harry, can you come help me put this stuff away, please?
His father gave him an expectant look, silently nudging him to go help her.
But I am watching. Sigh, fine.
I know that look. You want to ask me something.
Ha ha ha, guilty as charged. I need a small favor.
I'm listening.
I'm sure you've noticed that Harry hasn't taken the news of my engagement to Steffi that well. Not as well as I'd hoped he would.
Well, you know how teenagers are, especially boys. It'll take time for him to warm up to the idea of having a new mom.
Well, that's why I need your help. You two have always been really close. He'll listen to you.
No, I'm not going to get involved.
I'm not asking you to give him a lecture or to force him to like Steffi. I just want you to encourage him to give her a chance. That's all.
I don't know, Ben.
Please, Wanda, you'd be doing me a huge favor. Steffi too. She really likes him and wishes they would get along better. I don't mind if he never calls her mom, but it would be great if they could become friends.
This might actually work in my favor. Since I already wanted to ask Ben to help me, he's more likely to agree if I help him too. Alright, I'll help you.
Fantastic.
But in return, I'd like you to hear a business proposition I have for you.
You do?
Just promise me you'll give it some thought before you give me an answer.
Sure, let's hear it.
The school needs a sponsor for a charity event that's coming up soon. I was thinking your company could be a perfect fit since this won't be your first time. The event is aimed at teenagers and young adults who are—
Stop.
Oh God, please don't say no.
You don't have to say anymore. I'd be happy to help your school.
Really?
Sure. Besides, it's been a while since my company has been involved in an event for charity. We could use the PR.
And don't worry, I promise I'll start working on Harry.
Oh man, that's music to my ears. You're a lifesaver.